Hey everyone, I'm Malik, and in this video we are going to learn about the present simple, the present continuous, and we are going to compare between them in the end of the video. Okay, now we are going to start with the present simple tense. And in the present simple tense we are going to learn about how to form it and when to use it. Okay, so let's begin with how to form it. So here you see we separated the pronouns into two parts. The first part, I, you, we and they, and the second part, he, she and it. So the first part there is a singular and a plural, and in both of them we put the infinitive form of the verb. For example, I swim in the river, we used here a singular pronoun, and the second example, we walk to school, we used here we, a plural pronoun. Okay, let's go to the second part, he, she and it. Here we use the infinitive form of the verb plus s. For example, he walks home, she plays hockey. Okay? So in he, she and it, if the verb is ending in a s sound like kiss, catch, etc., we put the infinitive form of the verb plus es. For example, he misses his wife, she teaches English. And if the verb is ended in a y preceded by a constant like spy, fly, etc., the y becomes ie. For example, he spies on his neighbors. It worries me a lot. Okay, now let's see how to use the question form in the past simple tense. So with I, you, we and they, we put do plus the infinitive form of the verb. For example, do I need a ticket? And with he, she and it, we put does plus the infinitive form of the verb. For example, does it walk on batteries? And here let's see the negative form of the question. With I, you, we and they, we put don't, which is do not, plus the infinitive form of the verb. For example, I don't need a ticket. And with he, she and it, we put doesn't, which is does not, plus the infinitive form of the verb. For example, she doesn't cut her hair. Okay, so now let's see when to use the present simple tense. So the first use is for things that happen, and in this use we use the adverbs of frequency, which are always, usually, normally, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, and never. For example, I always stay after school. I always study after class. Vegetarians never eat meat. So the present simple says that something is true, was true in the past, is true in the present, and will be true in the future. We can also use the present simple to talk about facts. For example, the sun rises in the east. So this is a fact, it doesn't change. And we can also use the present simple to talk about schedules. For example, the flight arrives at gate 3. Okay? Okay, so now let's talk about the present continuous tense. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to form the present continuous tense. So with the singular pronouns I, you, he, she and it, we put to be plus the verb plus ing. For example, I am walking late. You are talking too fast. He is watching television. She is walking to school. It is raining. So these are the singular pronouns. And in the pronouns, we, you, and they, we do the exactly same. To be plus the verb plus ing. For example, we are singing a song. You are doing your homework. They are looking for a hotel. So you gotta be careful for the verbs ending in an E. Like for example, take, make, etc. In that case, when we put it in a present continuous sentence, we remove the E and put the ing. For example, I am taking the bus to school. He is making dinner. So we remove the E and put ing. And verbs that have one syllable ending in a constant and preceded by a vowel. Vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. So for example, sit, get, run. So this is one syllable and it ends in a constant and preceded by a vowel which is I and E and U. So in that case, when we put it in a present continuous sentence, it will be I am sitting. We doubled the constant, the last constant. I am sitting outside. You are running fast. It is getting late. Okay, sorry here, there's ing. It is getting late. So we double the T, the constant, and we double the N, and we double the T. Okay? Okay, so now let's see how to form questions in the present continuous tense. So with the singular pronouns, I, you, he, she, and it, we put to be plus the verb plus ing. For example, am I getting close? Are you running late? Is he taking a bus? Is she playing tennis? Is it snowing? So we use to be plus the verb plus ing. And with the plural pronouns, we, you, and they, we do the exactly same. To be plus verb plus ing. For example, are we going in the right direction? Are you arriving by ferry? Are they eating their lunch? Okay. Okay, now let's see how to use the negative question form in the present continuous tense. So with the singular pronouns I, you, he, she, and it, we use to be plus not plus verb plus ing. For example, I'm not waiting for you. You aren't looking for me. He isn't sleeping late. She isn't talking on the phone. It isn't freezing. And for the plural pronouns, we, you, and they, we do the exactly same. To be plus not plus the verb plus ing. For example, we aren't putting up a tent. You aren't speaking at the same time. They aren't cutting paper. Okay, so now let's see when to use the present continuous tense. So the first use is for things that are happening now. For example, I'm watching television at the moment. So when I'm speaking now, I am watching television at the point of speaking. It is raining right now. So I'm speaking and it is raining. So here the present continuous tense expresses an activity that is in progress at the point of speaking. It is a temporary activity that had begun in the past, is continuing in the present, and will probably end at a point in the future. The second use is for plans in the near future. For example, I'm flying to Dubai the next week. Are they moving this weekend? Okay, so now we have finished the present simple tense and the present continuous tense. So now let's make a comparison between them. So when we form in the present simple tense, we use the infinitive form of the verb. For example, he walked to school every day. But when forming in the present continuous tense, we use the auxiliary verb to be plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. For example, they are washing their car. But in the present simple tense, when we use the pronouns he, she, and it, we have to add an s to the verb. For example, he plays hockey. Okay, so now let's compare between the uses of the present simple and the present continuous tense. Well, the first use in the present simple is when something happens, always, regularly, sometimes, never, etc. For example, she always drives like a mad woman. And in the present continuous, the first use is a temporary activity. For example, you drive like a mad woman, let me out. Okay. The second use in the present simple is when it is a fact. For example, water freezes at -1 Celsius. So it's a fact, it is a change. And here, in the present continuous tense, when something is happening right now. For example, the water is freezing. So now the water is freezing. The last use in the present simple tense is with timetables and schedules. For example, the bus arrives at 10:30. But in the present continuous, plan in the near future. For example, I'm taking the bus tomorrow. Okay, this is the end of the video. I hope you learned something. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss another video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.